I thought it was very cool to have like an alien spoof, a spoof of the Aliens movies where I get raped by a facehugger, but he's the one getting pregnant. And because you cannot rape masturbate, like you lose anyway. Even if you are an alien. Yeah, so I really like that review, and but as for the worst review I've ever done, I don't know, like, is there one that you really don't like from me?
I don't like you in the first place.
So I'm gonna say the worst is the one I did with Panda, like Street Fighter on Abstract, because he's just there, you know? Yeah, there you go.
Alright, cool. Next question.
My question to Doug, it's about kiepska. How did you know about Molossia? I mean, in Austria we never heard about it, except in your video kiepska.
Our CEO, he was just surfing the net and came across the website. He's looking at micronations, and he found that one. He just thought it was hilarious. He gives me a call, he says, have you thought of anything for the 2nd-year anniversary? And it was getting pretty close when we had to film. I was like, no. I was like, I had all this time, I couldn't think of anything. And he showed me the website and said, what if we invade this guy? I said, well, that's hilarious, but you sure he'll go for it? And he's like, look, he's crazy, he's got to go for it. You know, I mean, he's obviously got a great sense of humor, it'd be wonderful. And we just called him up, so would you be interested? Yeah, sure, unbelievably nice guy. And he does not really believe it. I mean, he's not insane, you know. But he doesn't believe it, but he takes it seriously, if that makes sense. Like he really commits to the joke. You know, so, I mean, he has his own currency, which is like poker chips. They put his face on it and stuff like that. You know, and we actually bought some of the currency, you know, for when we return. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much his idea, and it turned out really, really well. So, thanks.
So many questions. Okay, I will go this way, something like that.
This is an interesting question, Sean.
We need more time, I think.
Thanks. Doug, I was wondering, how did Chester A-Bum end up to be homeless?
That's a very good question. Well, Chester A-Bum used to be a very successful businessman. And then he invested, he put like $6 million into the room, and I think the rest of it explains itself.
Okay, Doug again. Do you know by now how to tie a tie?
No. Actually, the nostalgia critic tie, I tie it once, I just keep it like that. I take it off, it's still like that, hanging on the hanger. I'm a failure man. Do either you know how to tie a tie?
I don't. Masturbate's nice to say, like, it's just
take it off, right?
and I just take it off like, yeah.
But this shit, yeah, you do it
Next, don't worry, critic. I don't know it too. Many people don't know it. You're the next one.
Okay.
Come on.
Hi, this is a question for Doug. When you notice around the internet that people love negativity, people eat up negativity, do you think that one of the reasons why you're so popular and also the folks like the Angry Video Gamer are so popular is because of that?
What, because of negativity?
Yeah, because people love negativity, seem to love negativity.
Well, here's my thought on comedy in general, is that comedy is very much a defense mechanism. And all comedy, we think that all comedy is based on misery in one way or another. Even if it's very slightly based, there is misery somehow in there. It does seem like this is how we survive. We have to laugh at something. We have to show we put this past us and it doesn't hurt us anymore and we can move on. So, I mean, in a sense, everything's going to be based on negativity, but how much is it creating positivity and how much is it creating more negativity? I think that's the real question. And if it creates more positivity and you can say, oh, okay, this isn't as bad, or life is actually pretty good. Look, here's an a-hole making fun of movies. Oh, poor him. You know, I think it can be pretty funny. If there's any humor that sort of spreads hate, or anything like that. I'm usually not too much more, which I know I do ask that guy, I know, but even then the joke is that he's the most horrible person in the world. He's very much supposed to be pitied. He's not supposed to be looked at as a role model. You know, I think people who watch it get that. So that's sort of my thought. I mean, yes, there's attraction, negativity, and all humor is negativity, but it's how much positivity does it create, if that makes sense.
Hi, first I want to ask if it's okay to make Benz at first promise something and then ask you a question.
Because that's why you're making a promise.
Yeah, I want Benz to make a promise because Benz, I love you for game fat. You make us perverts feel really good about ourselves. Yeah. But please promise, never ever make another dance up against Angry Joe, please.
Another dance, like you mean like the naked dance?
Yeah, exactly that one.
Have you seen like the gal theme goes with everything? Naked dance against Angry Joe, where I just dance naked with the gal theme, like ba 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 ba. It's awesome. I cannot promise that. I'm sorry. I can't. For one reason is that if there are ladies in the room, like I bet they liked it a lot. So yeah, and so for that very reason that I love my fangirls and they love me back. And occasional fanboys, I'm okay with that. No, I cannot promise that, no. Sorry.
And Doug, after the room review went down, you made a Dummy by So show and basically sent all the internet trolls like flying monkeys over to the roommood.com. And I wonder if there were any reactions about that, and also how does it feel to be the master of the internet trolls, to have them under your command?
I mean, I can't say I did that intentionally, like, please, I mean, I'm sure it happened, but I mean, I don't know if that was really the intent. It was more just to let people know what's going on and suck one to, you know, so. But it is weird sometimes. I mean, even when I come here and I see all these people here, I mean, I just say to myself, I'm just some schmuck with a video camera that talks to it and stuff. And, you know, it's so cool to see it really spread like this. But, no, the whole Waso thing, I mean, is always, it's always surreal. I can't be that angry at it because it's too funny. You know, it's like as soon as we got the cease and desist and the horrible written English, and we're pretty sure John is Tommy Waso. We're not positive, we're pretty sure. We're giving him the benefit of the doubt when we actually created John. Yeah. But no, it's for something like that. How can anyone be angry at that? It's just too funny. It creates way too much humor to be too angry. So, you know, if they do it, okay. I mean, I'll still survive, you know, but, yeah, it's their choice. I'm not super angry at it. We're seeing if we can somehow get around it. We'll just see what happens. So, yep. Where's next?
What about Boomer?
Boomer will live.
Doug, I always wonder if you're a big Transformers fan, so would you ever review the 80s Transformers movie?
The original Transformers?
Yes, the original.
For two reasons, no. One is that Lindsay already did. I think she did better than I did. Two, this is the reason I didn't have Optimus Prime in the top one says nostalgic most, but I should have, is that for whatever reason, missed that movie when it came out. You know, we moved. My dad was in the Navy, so we moved around a lot. And I think I was absent when the movie was around, and I missed it. So I saw it as an adult, and as an adult, you're just like, oh, that's weird. They kill everybody off. You know, it wasn't like Optimus, no. It didn't really affect me. So I knew I would not be the right person to review that because I would not have the commitment that a lot of people have to that movie. That's the same reason why sometimes I don't do certain shows or more current / nostalgic movies, is because if I don't know it or didn't grow up with it, I know I wouldn't be able to have the commitment to give it to get the fair comedy that could come out of it. So, whoever.
Okay, we've got here a few people, and then I will go to the...
Just pick one! Okay! Dance, monkey, dance!
I've got a question.
question for all of you. What did you do before the whole that guy with the glasses thing?
I graduated, when I first started, I had just graduated from being an English teacher. And then I...
Wow! How would you?
And then like I taught, I have been teaching English for the past year, and now I'm back to French, just doing nothing else but either translation or video production work as a freelance. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not like fully living off thatguywithglasses.com for now, but hopefully in the future. What about you, Panda?
For me, before I discovered That Guy with the Glasses, I was a really sad panda. And when I discovered the site, I was just a sad panda.
Good answer. I was an illustrator designer before I did freelance doing this. And when I started doing this. And then before that, a video a lot of you probably seen is the best way to quit your job ever. Which is, if you haven't, the people aren't laughing, you will after you see it. And that job, honestly, I was just a janitor. It's like the lowest of the low on the scale there. And I actually didn't hate the job that much. It was just this one guy who was constantly trying to get me fired. And so it was pretty much just for him. And it was right after I graduated college too, so that, you know, we're going to call the cops. Well, that very night my folks took me on a graduation trip to Alaska, so they wouldn't be able to find me. So that's why the illustrator designer.
Okay, we'll pick a girl. Okay.
Oh, and go ahead, because we have the clocks up here. When it becomes 3:30, can you let us know too?
Okay,
thanks.
Thank you,
Monkey.
Yes.
Clock right there.
Where? I can't. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. Never mind.
Hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar?
Hit yourself.
No, seriously, I would be really interested in the working progress of one of your reviews. So how long does it take and what kind of work do you have to do to prepare it?
It's pretty basic. It's it takes about a week to do, with maybe 2 days off. It's about 5 days. It takes a day to watch the movie and just write down notes real quick, a day to write the script, a day to shoot it, a day just to edit it and get it in order, and then a day to put it all together with the movie. And I leave like 1 extra day as a bleed over in case it goes longer than I expected. The reason it takes that long is because, you know, I'm shooting other videos, I'm doing book reviews and Ask That Guy and stuff like that. So yeah, about a week.
Okay, here.
First of all, what killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age!
And secondly, since you just put out a retrospective of your first games you might don't know, are you finished with the show or will there be new episodes?
Which one? Oh, yes, that's
me.
Sorry. I still love you.
All right. So as for games you might not know, the thing is that it's a show I really like to do, but it's more like, you know, when I did like an International Karate Plus and RoboCop review, I was like, oh, you know, like I'm desperate, I'm really trying to put like as much jokes and stuff as possible. I really want it to be my best show, and with that, like, I think that now that I'm on, like, I should do another review, and I'm like, oh, but will it be on par with like AK Plus or RoboCop 3? And like, oh, I don't know if I have the IDs yet. But I have IDs for GameFab, for example, so when I get IDs popping in my head like crazy to do more games I don't know, then the show will be back. So I'm not done with that series at all.
What for a review are you planning to review the next?
The next one, what is today? Yeah, the next week is going to be Rocky 4.